The data is clear. Motivation is not a feeling you wait for, it is a system you build.
Why is it so easy to get excited about a new goal, a new diet, a new project, a new habit, but so incredibly hard to stay motivated long enough to actually achieve it? If you've ever felt that frustrating spark of inspiration fade away, leaving you back at square one, you are not alone. And the answer isn't about trying harder. It's about understanding the science of what truly drives you. Welcome to WealthSync. Today we are taking a deep dive into the science of motivation. For this conversation, I am once again joined by the WealthSync AI, which has synthesized insights from neuroscientists, psychologists, and some of the most motivational speakers in the world to help us deconstruct this topic. Welcome back.
It is a pleasure to be here. Motivation is one of the most misunderstood aspects of the human experience. We often treat it like a magical, unreliable resource. My analysis shows that it is, in fact, a predictable and trainable skill.
That's exactly what I want to get into. So, for everyone watching, here's our promise for this episode. We're going to give you a new framework for understanding motivation. We'll show you why your current approach might be failing, and we'll give you 3 science-backed pillars you can use to build a system that creates unstoppable, sustainable drive. We'll be using a powerful storytelling method called Point Story Lesson to make these concepts practical and easy to remember. So let's start with the first and perhaps most important pillar. Where does true, lasting motivation actually come from?
The most powerful and sustainable form of motivation is intrinsic. It comes from a deep sense of purpose, not from external rewards. This is the purpose engine. Your internal GPS, your inner compass, always knows the direction your soul wants to go. Authentic, lasting drive is achieved when your daily actions align with that deeper purpose.
That concept of the purpose engine is so powerful. It reminds me of a story, a sort of modern parable you see all the time. Imagine an architect. Let's call him Alex. Alex is brilliant. He spends the first decade of his career chasing external rewards, designing bigger, flashier buildings, winning prestigious awards, earning a huge salary. By all outside measures, he's incredibly successful. But internally, he feels empty. Every morning, it's a struggle to get out of bed. His motivation is gone. The praise, the money, none of it is a strong enough why to get him truly excited anymore. He's running on fumes. So he takes a step back and asks himself a hard question. Why did I get into architecture in the first place? He realizes it was never about the awards. It was about creating spaces that made people feel safe and connected.
This aligns with the concept of authentic power, as discussed by Gary Zukav. Alex was pursuing external power, the ability to manipulate and control his environment. But his soul, his intrinsic motivator, was seeking authentic power, which is achieved when one's actions serve a deeper, internal purpose.
Exactly. So Alex pivots. He starts a small firm focused on designing sustainable, community-focused spaces, parks, libraries, local centers. The projects are smaller, the pay is less, but for the first time in years, he feels an incredible sense of drive. His purpose engine has been ignited. He is no longer just building structures, he is building community. That story is a perfect illustration of the point, but it begs the question, how can we, in our own lives, find that purpose engine without having to go through a major crisis?
There are several frameworks for this, but a simple and powerful tool is the 5 Whys exercise. It is a technique used in business to find the root cause of a problem. but it can be adapted to find the root of your motivation. You start with a surface level goal and you ask why 5 times, with each answer becoming the basis for the next question. This allows you to drill down past the superficial motivations to the deep, emotional core of what truly drives you.
Let's make that practical. Say my goal is, I want to get fit. I'd ask, why? My first answer might be, so I can have more energy. Then I ask again, why do I want more energy? So I can be more present and playful with my kids? Why do I want to be more present with my kids? Because I want to build a deep, meaningful connection with them that lasts a lifetime. Why is that connection important? Because I believe my ultimate purpose is to be a loving and supportive parent.
Precisely. The motivation is not getting fit. The motivation is fulfilling your purpose as a parent. When you connect your daily actions, like going to the gym, to that deep emotional purpose, you unlock a source of drive that is far more powerful and sustainable than any surface level goal.
Just a quick pause. If you're finding this deep dive on motivation valuable, please take a moment to support the channel with a like and subscribe. It helps us share these ideas with more people. Okay, let's get back to it.
Okay, so finding our why is the first step. But I know what a lot of people are thinking right now. I know my purpose, I know what I should be doing, but I just don't feel motivated to start. It's that gap between knowing and doing that trips so many of us up.
That is because we have the equation backward. We often wait to feel motivated before we take action. The neurological and psychological data is clear. In most cases, action is the cause of motivation, not the result of it. Motivation is not a spark that you wait for. It is a flywheel that you start turning through discipline. The initial push requires the most effort, but once it's in motion, it begins to generate its own momentum.
That's a fantastic metaphor. It perfectly describes the story of someone who decides to adopt a new, difficult habit, like the one we saw in our research. Waking up at 4 a.m. The first few mornings are pure discipline. The alarm goes off and every part of your being wants to hit snooze. There is zero motivation. It's cold, it's dark, it's uncomfortable.
This is the point of maximum friction. The brain is actively resisting the change in routine.
Exactly. But this person pushes through, they get up, they have a glass of water, they start their workout or their writing session, and something incredible happens. By the time 5 a.m. rolls around, that initial resistance is gone, replaced by a feeling of pride and accomplishment. They have already achieved something difficult before most of the world is even awake.
This creates a snowball effect of motivation. That single disciplined act creates a small win that boosts confidence and provides the energy and drive to tackle the next task of the day and the next. The motivation didn't come before the action. It was generated by the action.
So the lesson here is incredibly practical. If you want to feel motivated, you have to stop waiting for the feeling and just start, which is easy to say, but hard to do. Is there a tool we can use to make that initial push on the flywheel a little easier?
Yes. The most effective tool is known as the 2-minute rule. It's a simple but powerful principle. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. The goal is not to achieve a major outcome on day one. The goal is simply to master the art of showing up. Read a book becomes read one page. Go for a run becomes put on your running shoes. Write a report becomes open the document.
Because once you've started, the inertia is broken and it's much easier to continue. You're making the initial push on the flywheel as small as possible.
Precisely. You are lowering the activation energy required to begin. This bypasses the need for motivation and shifts the focus to simple, repeatable action. The motivation will follow.
So we have our purpose engine to give us direction and the discipline flywheel to get us started. But there's a third crucial element that can either supercharge or sabotage both of those things, and that is our own mindset.
Correct. Your beliefs about yourself and your capabilities act as an amplifier or a limiter for your motivation. If you believe you are not capable of change, no amount of purpose or discipline will be sustainable. A growth mindset, the belief that your abilities can be developed, is essential. If you believe you are not capable of change, no amount of purpose or discipline will be sustainable.
There's an incredible real-world story that perfectly illustrates this from one of our source interviews with Kanim al-Mufta. He was born with a rare condition that meant he had no lower body. Society could have easily labeled him as disabled, a fixed state.
That is a powerful example of a potential limiting belief being imposed by the external world.
Exactly. But Kanim adopted a radical mindset. He and his family decided that, as he puts it, disability is not in the body, it's in the mind, it's society's perception. He chose to see his unique condition not as a limitation, but as his greatest source of purpose. He reframed his entire identity. This mindset shift didn't just help him cope, it became the driving force behind his motivation to become a motivational speaker, an athlete, and an inspiration to millions. He didn't just overcome a challenge, he transformed it into his why. Kanim's story shows us that the stories we tell ourselves are incredibly powerful. So, the final lesson is that we must become the editors of our own internal narrative. How can we practically do that?
A proven technique is cognitive reframing. It involves 3 steps: identify, challenge, and replace. First, identify a limiting belief that is holding you back. For example, I'm not disciplined enough to start a business. Second, challenge that belief. Is it 100% true? Have there been times you've shown discipline? What is a more compassionate or realistic way to see this? Finally, replace it with a new, empowering belief. I am capable of learning and building the habits I need for success.
It's about actively choosing the belief that serves your purpose. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about focusing on your potential. So there we have it. The 3 pillars of a sustainable motivation system. First, ignite your purpose engine by finding a why that is bigger than yourself. Second, get your discipline flywheel spinning by taking small, consistent actions, no matter how you feel. And third, use your mindset amplifier to reframe your limiting beliefs into empowering ones.
Motivation is not a magical spark you wait for. It is a system you can design, build, and maintain. By focusing on your purpose, your actions, and your beliefs, you become the architect of your own drive.
Now that you have the tools to build your motivation system, the next step is to turn that motivation into consistent automatic action. To learn how, be sure to check out our deep dive on the science of habits right here.